Good evening and thanks for watching WGXA News at 5. I'm AmyreMakupson. Ovarian cancer is frequently a silent killer. That's because by the time it's detected, it's often too late. We have some breaking news happening right now. Bibb Sheriff deputies are on the scene of a bank robbery at the State Bank and Trust on Zebulon Road. We now know one person is dead after being hit by a train in downtown Macon. Tensions increase with North Korea as the regime says President Trump has declared war on its country. Good afternoon and thanks for watching our special extended coverage on WGXA News. I'm AmyreMakupson. Investigators say a person dressed in a clown costume holding balloons shot and killed Marlene Warren. New developments tonight in riots over the killing of a student at Georgia Tech. Right now, 3 people are facing felony charges. A release says that Magruder was dropped off at the corner of Burton Avenue and Napier Avenue. Magruder told deputies as he was walking along Burton Avenue, he was shot in the knee. Good evening and thanks for watching WGXA News at 5. I'm AmyreMakupson. Raymond Tubb is on assignment. All new tonight at 5, Macon's former mayor C. Jack Ellis has a message for you tonight following a violent weekend. Right now, the search continues for a killer. Bibb County deputies say 1 person died and 6 others are wounded in 4 shootings between Saturday and Sunday. Those shootings happened on Houston Avenue, Cedar Street, Walmart Drive, Hatcher Place, and Ibex Street. Emmanuel Stroud Jr. died in the shooting on Walmart Drive. This comes just months after his father was also murdered. Ellis says the violence needs to stop.
One crime is too many.
Deputies have not named any suspects in any of the shootings. And new tonight, after Sunday's shooting death, Macon has seen 20 homicides this year. That is already equaling the number that we saw last year. New at 5, WGXA's Eric Mock is joining us live now from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office to talk about why the numbers are higher this year. Eric, thanks a lot. We have new information tonight about the Equifax data breach that's affecting 143 million Americans. The Atlanta-based Credit Bureau says that Chief Information Officer and the Chief Security Officer are leaving the company effective immediately. Equifax faces several inquiries and class action lawsuits. That includes congressional investigations. The Federal Trade Commission is also warning if someone calls you claiming to be from Equifax, just hang up because it's a scam. Equifax does not call people out of the blue. Another credit reporting agency, Experian, is warning consumers to watch out for what they call phishing attempts. Those are efforts by scammers to dupe you into giving out your personal data by email. We're going to change gears now and turn things over to weather. We have had a hot couple of days. Matt Mackey is live in Storm Track Central for Jeff Cox right now. And Matt, how long do you think all of this heat is going to stick around?
I'm thinking at least the next couple of days.
Happening tonight, the boil water advisory is over for the city of Marshallville. That's according to water plant manager Jeff Lemke. Those power outages from Irma just depleted the well water supply. It took city pumps time to catch up too, so the city issued a precautionary boil water advisory. Right now, water tests are showing it is safe to drink and it is flowing again from the tap. And happening now, the local economy might just see a small change from Tropical Storm Irma. Pat Topping, the senior vice president of the Macon-Bibb Chamber of Commerce, is hopeful for the economy in the coming months. Topping says this will be a minor bump in the road for some businesses and a major bump in the road for some others. He says in time, certain businesses lost their power, so they lost customers because of it. For other businesses, though, this could give them a leg up.
Other businesses are going to flourish.
Topping says that Macon should recover well from Irma. He doesn't expect spending habits to change overall. And new developments in the deaths of 8 people at a Florida nursing home that lost power following Hurricane Irma. The family of a 94-year-old woman has now filed lawsuit against the Rehabilitation Center of Hollywood Hills. They want an unspecified amount of money for what they call negligence. Other patients' families also plan to sue. The nursing home operators haven't commented on the suit, other than to say they did ask for help from the state and other agencies, but they didn't get any assistance. A child is safe tonight following an accident that sent a fair worker plunging from a ride.
I will never go back to another fair.
Next at 5, a mom tells us why she felt helpless and scared for her son.
Wendy Wilson and Romel Delgado have 2 children, twins in fact.
Their twins were born from 2 of 5 frozen pre-embryos. Wendy purchased donor eggs when the couple was married, and Romel supplied the sperm. But now they're divorced, and the state must decide who the last 3 pre-embryos go to.
The judge and both the attorneys in the case looked into what Georgia law was with regard to that. And we were astonished to find out that there apparently was no Georgia law, either case law or statutory law.
So with no law in place, the debate began.
Said she wanted the court to award her the frozen pre-embryos so she could have children again even after the parties were divorced, which my client objected to. At trial, when this came out, he told me he had no idea that these pre-embryos existed, and then punched me in the arm at counsel table and said, well, those are not Wendy's eggs, those are donor eggs.
Romel claims he thought there were only 2 pre-embryos created, not 5. Wendy purchased the donor eggs. She also paid for the travel to Oregon where she got them.
Wendy funded, paid for. She paid for all the fertility treatments. She paid for the trips to Oregon. She paid for the entire process.
The attorneys say they based their arguments off of similar hearings in other states. In their divorce trial, Romel was awarded the pre-embryos by a judge. Wendy appealed the decision, and now the case is being heard in the Supreme Court of Georgia.
You don't have any authority in law or language, right?
According to Romel's attorney, Georgia law states that pre-embryos are not considered to be people.
They haven't taken on human characteristics or characteristics of a person. That doesn't happen until they're implanted in the uterus of the mother that's going to take.
This isn't the first time this argument has been made in the courtroom.
The courts that have dealt with this across the nation have stated that these are certainly more than just property. They're more than just the dining room table. So they've categorized them as some sort of hybrid intermediate state between persons and property.
There was also no contractual agreement of what to do should the couple divorce. Romel's attorney says what happens with his client's sperm is Romel's choice.
The issue in the case is right to privacy. On that is guaranteed by the United States Constitution. And that's what one of the justices was saying yesterday. That you have a right to privacy. You have a right to have children or not have children. And at this moment, his desire is not to have those children.
But Wendy's attorney says she wants the pre-embryos, so they're asking Romel to allow her to adopt them. That means he'll sign over his rights and the pre-embryos become hers. It would be very similar to an adoption. Wendy says she then plans to implant them in herself in hopes of giving birth to biological siblings for their twins.
But in Georgia, we have a unique statute that is the option for adoption of embryo statute that allows someone to adopt embryos prior to implanting them in their womb. And once they adopt the embryos, they're theirs and solely theirs, so that he would not have any legal responsibility to them. No court could ever force him to pay child support or to support the children born of the embryos in any way.
Ultimately, the court will decide.
Well argued. It is a new case for us, and a new issue is involved.
Trisha Graham was diagnosed with breast cancer last June. In just 7 months, she had 4 major surgeries, but that wasn't the hard part.
I guess I wasn't prepared for it. I mean, I was prepared for the mastectomy, but just like you said, when you look in the mirror and there's nothing there, and then there's scars on top of it, it made you feel very, like, I don't know, very odd. Just not normal, not right.
She handled the surgeries better than she did that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was tough on her, I could tell.
Seeing herself with scarred, reconstructed breasts and no nipples not only broke her heart, but also was a daily reminder of her fight against cancer. She didn't like what she saw, but she didn't want to go through another surgery either, even to reconstruct her nipples.
You know, everyone said, well, in clothes you look great, but, you know, when you get out of the shower, when you're taking a shower, you notice it. And I didn't want it on my mind every single day. That I saw it, it would remind me.
So Trisha's tattoo-loving husband, Tim, came up with an idea. Having just had a breast cancer ribbon tattooed on his leg,
This is my great-grandmother, Amelia, who passed away from breast cancer.
He made a trip back to his artist, Kevin Dixon, with an idea.
And he had asked me if I had ever done any nipple tattoos or reconstructive nipple tattoos. And I told him no.
Rather, not yet. Kevin is a tattoo veteran, specializing in everything from watercolor to realism. But to make sure he was ready, he practiced on Tim's leg.
Well, you've got to know my husband. It's been a conversation piece.
An idea turned conversation piece.
He actually put his hands around it after he was done, and he took a picture and sent it to me. You would have thought it was a real breast. I mean, it was amazing.
Turned peace of mind.
Oh, it just made it feel complete again. You felt normal again. I think it's just the last piece of the closure, and you can truly move on and not think about it every single day.